Hi, this is Alex Bregman, Astro 60. He's the number 9 Astro biometric that I used. Win shares or whatever. I don't know. WPA, all that. It's October 26, 2019, World Series Game 4. Astro at Nationals. For a second there, looked like the Nats had the whole thing by the throat. Washington went into Minute Maid Park and stole the first two games. Washington answered in Game 3, but the series was still sitting at 2-1 Nats, and Game 4 had a nasty little shape to it. If Washington wins, it's 3-1 with another home game waiting. Not a trophy yet, but it's close enough that everybody in the building can smell trophy polish. For Houston, this is survival without panic, not elimination, not yet. But if the Astros lose this one, they're suddenly asking themselves to win 3 straight against a team that already proved it could take games in Houston. So Game 4 is the hinge. It's the game where the 107-win Houston Astros either re-enter the series as themselves or spend the rest of the week metaphorically dragging a piano uphill. Right in the middle of that is Alex Bregman. Bregman's born March 30th, 1994 in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the baseball path got loud early. He went from Albuquerque Academy to LSU, where he was one of those college players who looked like he was already playing a professional game while everybody else was figuring out the tempo. Houston took him second overall in the 2015 draft, and that pick fit the Astros' whole rebuild model. Find the guy with skill, edge, strike zone control, and enough internal voltage to make October feel natural. He debuted in 2016. By 2017, he was part of Houston's first championship team. That version of Bregman was already dangerous, but he wasn't yet the final boss version that we know now. Or I guess he's not really a final boss anymore in Chicago. I think he's hitting 237. But at the time, he was still climbing. He hit the walk-off single in Game 5 of the 2017 World Series. Then he was an All-Star in 2018, and of course, he won the MVP there for the All-Star game as well. He's always had that smallest window, biggest swing. Then 2019 happened, and he went from a star to MVP caliber problem. 41 home runs, 112 RBI, OPS over 1,000. Silver Slugger season, second in AL MVP voting. He wasn't just a good hitter. He was the kind of hitter who made pitchers feel like the count belonged to him, even when it didn't. But October can humble people. It humbles stars, even all-stars. Coming into Game 4 of this World Series, Bregman was scuffling. Washington had walked Michael Brantley in Game 3 to get to him, Bregman, with the bases loaded. It's not subtle. That's the other dugout saying, we'd rather deal with you. And it worked that night. This should be where Bregman becomes the whole story, but not quite. Because Jose Urquidy is the first shock of Game 4. Houston doesn't have its classic monster starter lined up here. No Garrett, no Verlander, no Greinke. It's Urquidy, a rookie with a very thin MLB resume, being asked to keep a World Series game from getting away. It's not a soft assignment. Then Houston bats make his life easier, right away. The top of the first, the Astros came out swinging. Jose Altuve singled, Michael Brantley singled. Bregman stepped in and gives Houston the first run with an RBI single. Yuli Gurriel follows with another run-scoring hit. Just like that, it's 2-0 Astros before Washington can even settle its feet. And that matters because Patrick Corbin is not some spare arm. He's one of the reasons Washington believed this postseason run could hold together. Big contract, big lefty, big spot. But Houston's approach is clean early. They're not waiting around to be impressed. They're attacking good pitches before the count turns ugly. In the fourth, Robinson Chirinos adds the muscle. 2-run homer. Now it's 4-0, and the mood in Nationals Park changes. Not dead and not quiet, just alert. Like everybody understands, the party can flip if the wrong guy gets hot. There's a tiny thing about Bregman that always makes him a little more annoying than his stat line. He doesn't look like he's guessing. He looks like he's auditing the pitcher. The posture, the bat waggle, the way he tracks the ball. It all has this, I saw that energy. Even when he's cold, he still projects danger. And that's what Washington is dealing with. A cold star, not the same thing as a harmless one. Sometimes he's just a match waiting on friction. Urquidy gives Houston 5 scoreless, 5, in a World Series game on the road from a rookie. Very valuable. Nationals finally scratch a run across in the 6th with Juan Soto grounding to Gerardo Parra. For a second, the game threatens to become Washington-shaped. The Nats have made a whole month out of hanging around, taking punishment, then making the other team regret leaving the door open. But in the 7th, Houston closes the door with a nail gun. The Astros load the bases. Fernando Rodney's on the mound. Guy's a joker. Bregman comes up, the same general situation as the night before, except now he gets another chance. This time he doesn't just beat the decision. He embarrasses the memory of it. Rodney throws him a fastball. Bregman gets the barrel out and hooks it down the left field line. Stays fair. Grand slam. 4 runs in 1 swing. Houston leads 8-1. Nationals Park goes from tense to stunned. You think the Astros are trying to survive Game 4, and then Bregman makes it look like they're going to set a trap. The slam is his second hit of the night, and it gives him 5 RBI. In a World Series game from a third baseman, not just a good night, it's a historical line. The Astros had spent the early part of the series looking just a wee bit too tight, a little too human. Bregman's swing made them look like the monster again. Afterward, the reaction was basically controlled adrenaline. Bregman talked about failure as part of the game. That's the correct baseball answer, and also the only one available after October. Puts you in the dryer. A.J. Hinch backed his guy because Bregman, he'd been middle of the order rock solid all year long. Carlos Correa said Houston looked like Houston again. Honestly, he wasn't wrong, because the Astros won 8-1. They got 13 hits. Urquidy got the win. Corbin took the loss. Series is tied 2-2. Suddenly, Houston's 2-0 start feels less like a takeover and more like the first act of a knife fight. Excuse me. After this game, I can't talk today. After this game, Houston keeps rolling for one more night. The Astros win Game 5 in Washington and go back up 3-2. That should have been the setup. 2 chances in Houston. They had 2 chances to finish it. Baseball's rude. Nationals were apparently built out of road game spite. Washington won Game 6, then they won Game 7. The road team wins every game of the 2019 World Series. The Nationals get their first championship. Steven Strasburg gets World Series MVP. Houston gets the kind of loss that doesn't just hurt. It lingers. Then the whole Astros era changes shape. The sign-stealing scandal lands after the season. Suddenly, every Houston achievement from that window is discussed through a cracked lens. Bregman remains one of the faces of the franchise, which means he takes some of the heat whether the conversation is fair, unfair, or somewhere in the middle. His career doesn't stop, though. It bends. In 2020, in the shortened season, all noise attached, he didn't really do much. In 21, injuries chip away at him, and in 22, he's back in October, and this time, Houston finishes the job, beating Philly for another World Series title. In 23, he's still steady, still walking, still driving in runs, and in 24, he wins his first Gold Glove. That matters because Bregman's defense had gone from former Silver Slugger playing third to legitimately polished third baseman. Then the Houston chapter ended. He left after 2024, spent 25 with Boston, made another All-Star team, and by 26, he's with the Cubs. It's a strange sentence if you watched him grow up in orange, but that's baseball now. Even franchise pillars become road uniforms, eventually. Still, this Game 4 version is pure Astros Bregman, cocky enough to wear it, skilled enough to cash it, and annoying enough to make the other team remember yesterday's strategy and regret today's pitch. Next up, we go from a grand slam in D.C. to a blue line prayer in Boston. Blue 11 is Carl Gunnarsson, May 29th, 2019. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. St. Louis had never won a Stanley Cup Final game. Gunnarsson had already hit iron, and before overtime, he basically told Craig Berube He needed one more chance. Then he got it. Then he buried it. But that's for next time. For now, this is Alex Bregman, October 26, 2019. One swing, 4 runs. Series tied. Villain energy fully restored. Baseball doesn't always give you the clean revenge scene. Sometimes it makes you wait one night. Sometimes it lets the other dugout tell the whole world they'd rather pitch to you. And sometimes, if you're Alex Bregman, it gives you the bases loaded again and asks one question. You still got something to say? Yeah, he did. Thanks for watching.